Gen Z confine themselves into a room.
Let me remove a picture from your head and let me help paint a new one.
Okay?
Right? So many times our parents think if they're confining themselves in their room, they're putting themselves in a jail cell.
Especially living in a household with the parents, with
Yes.
your siblings. Is there a safety issue?
So actually, yes, we do feel unsafe.
I know a lot of immigrant parents, they are overprotecting their kids. They are not getting them the decent exposure, I would say, to the outside world, to build up their confidence in them, to build up that, that mental peace in them.
I think safety is one huge component of this. Judgment is another. You can't stop that judgment. It may not be verbal judgment, right? They may look at you a certain way. They may present certain facial expressions.
Right.
And that's enough to set us off, right? Internally.
As a parent, we should teach our kids how to face that, or how to go, I would say, head on head with that feeling of being judged.
Right.
How to tackle it.
Exactly.
Rather than avoiding it. I think this is what is more important. So, Shreya, let's start our fight about Gen Z and Gen X.
Absolutely.
So, today, I want to ask you something very important,
Okay.
very meaningful, and it's happening frequently in the house. Why Gen Z confine themselves into a room? See? I can see that smile on your face with that.
That's a great question. I think
But is it a fact?
100%, yes.
Right?
We do confine ourselves in
So
our
I want
rooms.
to understand the perspective of Gen Z.
So I think first and most importantly, let me remove a picture from your head and let me help paint a new one.
Okay?
Right? So many times our parents think if they're confining themselves in their room, they're putting themselves in a jail cell.
Of course it is a jail cell. Isn't it?
Not so much actually.
Okay.
So let's remove that picture from your head today. Okay?
Fair.
And help me paint a new picture in your head. Rather than viewing our rooms as a jail cell, we personally view it as four walls in which we feel safe.
Okay.
Right? So it's not that we're trapping ourselves in there or that we're stuck in there or that, or handcuffed to our rooms.
Right.
Rather, it's a place where we feel safe. We don't feel judged, right? We feel like our world is within that room and that's where we want to be.
So Shreya, that's something very serious to me. And I want to know a little bit more about it. That room is the safe place, you mean to say house is not? Is that the right?
Great question. Yes and no. I feel many teenagers or, many young adults don't feel safe or they feel judged around family members.
Hold on.
In
There's
the
two
world.
different things.
Okay.
Safe and judged are two different things. Let's first talk about safety, because that's my serious concern.
Yes.
Especially living in a household with the parents, with
Yes.
your siblings. Is there a safety issue?
So actually, yes, we do feel unsafe. And the crisis here is that unfortunately there are scenarios that are happening within families where young females, young males are being physically abused or taken advantage of by their own family members. This is honestly a horrific thought, a horrific scenario to imagine, to think of. But if we are not aware, if we are not educating ourselves, then how can we raise awareness? How can we tackle these issues? I have read headline after headline where, young girls or young boys are being taken advantage of, physically abused by their own family members, right? Those are the people we are supposed to feel the safest around.
Right. I do agree with you, Shreya, that there are certain cases which we read in the media or newspaper on the social media. And I think that's a big responsibility of Gen X
Absolutely.
to ensure that we create that confidence among our kids where they feel safe in the household.
And I do want to add, this is 100% not a scenario in which every family relates,
Right.
right? It's not happening in every family that you see. But it's happening in some, and even happening in one family
Yes.
is one more than it should be, right?
Absolutely.
So if we know about it, and the beautiful thing about media these days is these news, these headlines, we have the ability to spread them and cause awareness very quickly.
Absolutely.
Right? So why aren't we taking advantage of it? Why aren't we educating ourselves? Why aren't we telling our kids about the realities? Sometimes, especially immigrant parents, I feel, try to protect the kids by not sharing these harsh stories or realities, right? But if we don't know about it,
We
won't
are
know.
afraid of it, try to understand or fear.
Yes.
We want, and especially like, coming from an immigrant family, I know a lot of immigrant parents, they are overprotecting their kids.
100%.
They are not getting them the decent exposure, I would say, to the outside world, to build up their confidence in them, to build up that, that mental peace in them. Now we spoke about safety. What about judged? Because you know what? That I think is something which we need to talk about.
Absolutely. I think safety is one huge component of this. Judgment is another.
But
And
aren't you guys being judged on the social media? Aren't you guys being judged in that confined atmosphere of your own room?
100%
What about
we
that
are.
judgment?
No, we 100% are. Especially, I would say, in our generation, many young girls that I've met, that I've talked to, deal with the issue of body image, right? And social media is not making it any better. I 100% agree.
Right.
But with our phones, with being in our rooms, at least we have the choice of what we want to see. And this is not 100% we have the choice.
Right.
Because if you're scrolling on TikTok, you're going to see someone who you compare yourself to naturally. But then the next video will be something that's very relatable and, something that you want to hear or makes you feel good.
Right.
Right? So in that sense, we are able to be somewhat selective with the media that we are consuming, with the things that we're hearing. But once we are out in the world, once we are out in our families, right? In our family friends, you can't stop those comments from coming. You can't stop that judgment. It may not be verbal judgment, right? They may look at you a certain way. They may present certain facial expressions.
Right.
And that's enough to set us off, right? Internally. So I feel our rooms are somewhere we feel at least less judged than
Right.
the outside world.
Yeah.
It's definitely not 0% judgment. There will, I feel there will maybe never be that.
Shreya, I do agree with you again up to a good extent.
Okay.
But
Yes.
but as an advice to the younger generation,
Yes.
still confining yourself into those four walls with those unnecessary fears. Like majority of the
Yes.
times, these are unnecessary fears. So rather than
I would
being-
disagree.
Ra-
It may feel unnecessary to you, but maybe not to us
Let
in
me-
the moment. in
let
the
me
moment.
finish. Let me
Okay.
finish.
Okay.
So rather than
Yes.
finding out this alternative that confining yourself to the room,
Yes.
I think as a parent, we should teach our kids how to face that or how to go, I would say, head on head with that feeling of being judged.
Right.
How to tackle it
Exactly.
rather than avoiding it. I think this is what is more important,
100%.
right? You cannot
I-
stop people.
Yes.
You cannot stop people from staring you. You cannot stop people from abusing you. You cannot stop people from saying bad words to you. But you can take an action on it. Am I right?
Right.
And that action is, the first action is learn to control.
Exactly.
And then the second action is, if wherever it is appropriate, make a complaint. Talk to your parents, talk to the authorities, talk to the relevant or concerned people, I would say, where this thing can be stopped.
I think this is a great point you're raising. However, I want to share another perspective.
Okay?
You mentioned the concept.
Today you have too many perspectives, by the way.
You mentioned the idea of raising a complaint.
Right.
Right? Sometimes there is judgment in simply the act or the process of raising a complaint, right? Why do we feel scared at school to go and tell a teacher something that's happening to us? Because we know that our classmates will somehow hear about it or realize that we went to a teacher, we reached out for support, right? And right in there, there's judgment from peers, from people your
Peer
own
pressure.
age. Exactly.
Yes.
So I think going and talking to someone of greater authority is something that's easier said than done, especially when you are the person in the
Shreya, I
scenario.
do agree on to a lot of things what you are saying, but again, my single point is confining yourself to the room is not the solution. So I think
Yes.
we should come up with some more brilliant ideas
Exactly.
where the
Exactly.
communication among the different various generations within the household should be made better. There should be dinners at home, like every time, like every evening, let's sit together for the dinner to and talk about these things. And I think here our experience should play more important role. We should initiate that communication with our kids because we have more experience
Yes.
and we have to bring that on the table.
And I think sometimes our generation, I know with many friends that I've talked to, we sit with the expectations that our parents will come to us, right?
Oh,
Sometimes we don't want to admit it. It may be a little bit of ego, it may be a little bit of pride, but we want our parents to come talk to
I
us.
I really love that point
Yes.
because kids are hesitant,
Absolutely.
right?
And
They are waiting for that initiative from parents.
yes. And
Wonderful.
I will tell you, even when we are expecting initiative from parents, at first, we will give you a little bit of a hard time. We'll
Why?
act like we don't want you to be there.
Really?
Right? Sometimes out of natural
Of course.
instinct or, natural reaction, we act like we don't want it when inside our subconscious knows this is what we're craving. This is what we really, really want.
Wonderful.
Now, see, Dad, what's most important is we can talk on and on and on about this topic, about so many other topics. But the way for us to bring value to others and make an impact is to provide solutions.
Absolutely.
Right? The first
do
step is to identify the problem,
Yes.
which we've done very well, I feel.
Right.
Now, when it comes to solutions,
Right.
some feedback, some solutions, some ideas that I personally can share with you, and with those in my generation or those that relate with the feelings that I'm sharing.
Right.
Firstly, if you have siblings, take the utmost advantage of that relationship. Confide in your siblings, whether they are 1 or 2 years apart from
Right.
you, right? Maybe 10 years apart, maybe 14 years
Or
apart.
maybe cousins.
Or maybe cousins, absolutely.
Yes.
All those connections, those relationships,
Yes.
cousins, friends, siblings, confide in them,
Right.
right? Understand, share perspectives, but lead a conversation with an open mind. Sometimes we get caught up in our own perspectives and refuse to open up our minds to what our parents' perspectives could be. Right? So I think the first step is having those conversations with those that relate with you, but with an open mind.
Open. Yes.
Another really, really great thing that I personally have told some of my friends, some of my relatives that are of my age is the first step to bringing yourself out of this shell of your bedroom, of social media, of your phone, is something that is probably the hardest, which would be distancing yourself from your phone, right?
Absolutely.
Quarantine away, put that in quarantine, put it away, pretend you're putting it in a timeout. Go outside for a walk. Connect with the beings, with the nature, with the beauty around
I
you.
love that. I simply love it. I'm a firm believer of it.
Absolutely. I know.
So where did you get that idea, by the way, from?
It was definitely inspired by you, but I think acting is what's most important.
Yes,
Act upon it, right?
Act upon it,
We can talk and talk and talk, but if we are not taking action,
Yes.
there is no results, there are no solutions, there's no resolution. So those would be my top 2 tips. Confide with those that are in your age group, right? That are feeling the same feelings, the same struggles as you. But with an open mind. And be open to sharing other perspectives.
That's great, Shreya. And I can see you're bringing a lot of wonderful perspective and some fantastic solutions.
And you're learning some things from me, right?
Of course, a lot. Of course, a lot. So if you like the discussion, if you like the idea of bringing this generational gap, Gen Z and Gen X, Please don't hesitate to subscribe, follow, and comment. And we'll be very happy to bring more and more of these discussions on table for you.
And I would also like to add, if there are topics or areas of struggle between you and your family personally,
Right.
please do feel free to share those in the comments below. And we'd love to, add perspectives, take on these challenges, and just bring more knowledge and perspectives to those viewers out there.
Fantastic. Thank you.